You're lying there in the quiet that amplifies every single worry. The digital glow of the clock on the nightstand mocks you. 3:17 a.m. Again. Most of us try to force sleep back, but neuroscientists now prove that this is the exact mistake keeping your brain on high alert. What's happening in your body right now isn't just bad luck or a lack of tiredness. It's a chemical hijacking by a single, out-of-control hormone. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how to disarm this emergency switch with a 60-second technique used by sleep specialists, so you can finally stop battling your pillow and reclaim your rest. This isn't about willpower. It's about understanding a precise biological mechanism that, once understood, unlocks immediate relief. That emergency switch I mentioned, the one that gets flipped when you're staring at the ceiling at 3:17 a.m., is intimately tied to a powerful hormone called cortisol. Neurologists and endocrinologists have spent decades unraveling its complex role, and what they've found is crucial for anyone battling sleepless nights. Cortisol isn't inherently bad. It's your body's primary stress hormone, essential for waking you up in the morning, giving you energy and helping you respond to danger. It's part of your fight or flight system, designed to make you alert and ready for action. The problem isn't cortisol itself, but its mistiming and overactivation when you're trying to sleep. When you wake up in the middle of the night, especially with that jolt of anxiety or frustration, your brain often misinterprets this as a threat. It signals your adrenal glands to release a surge of cortisol. This surge acts like a powerful alarm clock, telling your entire system, "Wake up, be alert, there might be danger." This is the precise biological mechanism that keeps you awake, turning your peaceful bed into a battlefield. It overrides your natural sleep drive, making it nearly impossible to drift back into slumber, no matter how tired you feel. You see, your body has two main operating systems for wakefulness and sleep. Your sleep system, driven by your circadian rhythm and sleep pressure, and your arousal system, which keeps you alert. When cortisol floods your system at 3 a.m., it throws your arousal system into overdrive, effectively shutting down your sleep system. This brings us back to the biggest mistake almost everyone makes when that 3 a.m. wake-up call arrives, trying to force sleep. It's a natural, almost instinctive reaction, isn't it? You feel the pressure, the urgency, and you tell yourself, "I have to sleep." But as sleep specialists consistently remind us, sleep isn't a command you can issue. It's a state of surrender. And the harder you try to command it, the further it retreats. The effort to force sleep triggers more stress hormones, which raise your arousal even further, creating a vicious cycle. It's like pressing the gas pedal when you're trying to park your car. Counterproductive and ultimately frustrating. This is why the common advice to just relax often feels impossible. Your body's chemistry is literally working against you. Current research suggests that managing this cortisol response is paramount. It's not about eliminating it entirely, but about preventing it from spiraling out of control when you're trying to return to sleep. The moment you start doing mental math, if I fall asleep now, I'll only get 3 hours, you're actively fueling that cortisol release, pushing sleep further away. The good news is, we can gently guide it back. We can learn to send different signals to that emergency switch, signals that tell your body it's safe to power down. Chronic activation of this emergency switch at night, as many studies have shown, doesn't just make you tired. It can impact your memory, your mood, your immune system, and even your metabolism. For those of us over 50, these effects are even more pronounced, making consistent, restorative sleep not just a luxury, but a critical component of healthy aging. But before we dive into the specific, immediate techniques that can help you calm this internal storm and rebalance your hormones, there's another often overlooked factor that contributes to these middle-of-the-night awakenings, especially as we age. It's a biological rhythm, a subtle shift in your body's core temperature that almost guarantees you'll hit a lighter stage of sleep around the same time every night. Understanding this natural ebb and flow is key to not panicking when it happens, and it's a piece of the puzzle that many people miss. We'll explore this fascinating biological truth and how it impacts your sleep in our next segment, revealing why those 2 to 3 a.m. wake-ups are so common and how you can work with your body's natural rhythms instead of fighting them. This knowledge will empower you to transform those moments of frustration into opportunities for peaceful rest by understanding the precise biological signal that often precedes your awakening. We've just uncovered how that emergency switch of cortisol can hijack your night, turning a simple awakening into a battle. But there's another layer to this nightly puzzle, a fascinating biological truth that many people miss, and it's often the reason why those 2 to 3 a.m. wake-ups feel so inevitable. It's not just anxiety, it's your body's internal thermostat at work, sending a precise biological signal that often precedes your awakening. Think about your body temperature throughout the day. It rises, peaks, and then begins to drop as evening approaches, signaling to your brain that it's time to release melatonin and prepare for sleep. This drop continues through the early hours of the night. However, as sleep specialists and current research consistently suggest, your core body temperature doesn't just keep dropping indefinitely. At a certain point, typically between 2 and 3 a.m., it begins a subtle, gradual ascent. This shift, this gentle warming, is a natural part of your circadian rhythm. And as your body temperature starts to climb, you naturally move into a lighter stage of sleep. This isn't a flaw in your system, it's a design feature. For our ancestors, this lighter sleep phase might have been a protective mechanism, a moment of increased vigilance to check for danger before sinking back into deeper rest. For us, in our safe modern beds, it often just means we become more susceptible to waking up. A slight noise, a fleeting thought, or even a full bladder can now easily pull you from that lighter sleep into full wakefulness. So, when you find yourself staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., know that it's often your biology, not a personal failing. Everyone experiences this lighter sleep phase. The difference is whether you have the tools to gently guide yourself back to slumber, or if you let that moment spiral into frustration. This understanding is incredibly liberating, isn't it? It takes away some of the self-blame and replaces it with a sense of natural process. But here's where it gets tricky. If you combine this natural biological awakening with the anxiety of, "I need to sleep," you've created the perfect storm for a full-blown cortisol release, pushing you further away from rest. This is why that initial reaction is so critical. Instead of panicking, we need to learn to work with this natural rhythm, not against it. This isn't about fighting your body, it's about understanding its ancient wisdom and learning to whisper to it, rather than shout. Now you might be thinking, okay, I understand why I'm waking up, but what do I do about it? That's precisely what we're building towards. We're laying the groundwork piece by piece to give you a complete toolkit. For those of us over 50, establishing a robust sleep foundation becomes even more vital. Our sleep architecture naturally changes. We spend less time in deep, restorative sleep and more in lighter stages, making us more vulnerable to these awakenings. Therefore, building resilience into our sleep patterns isn't just helpful, it's a proactive step towards maintaining cognitive function, energy levels, and overall vitality. But before we dive into the immediate, in-the-moment techniques for falling back asleep, we need to address something even more fundamental. Because while these techniques are powerful, they're far more effective when built upon a solid foundation. Imagine trying to fix a leaky roof during a storm without first ensuring the house's structure is sound. It's a temporary patch. We need to build a robust, resilient sleep routine that minimizes these awakenings in the first place, a routine that sends clear, consistent signals to your body that it's safe to rest night after night. This foundation, often overlooked, is the true secret to transforming your sleep, and it involves a surprisingly simple yet profoundly impactful daily ritual that we'll uncover next. Please remember, this video is for educational purposes only and should not be taken as medical advice. Always consult with your healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your sleep routine, diet, or health regimen. This daily ritual, this consistent signal to your body, isn't about complex rules or expensive gadgets. It's about harnessing the power of predictability, a power that neuroscientists confirm can profoundly influence your body's ability to transition smoothly into and out of sleep. It's a specific set of actions, performed with intention, that can dramatically reduce the frequency and intensity of those middle-of-the-night wake-ups, and it begins not when you're tired, but much earlier in your day. It's a subtle dance with your biology, a series of gentle cues that tell your body, long before your head hits the pillow, that deep, uninterrupted rest is on its way. Now that we understand the why behind those 3 a.m. awakenings, the cortisol hijack and your body's natural temperature shift, it's time to build the ultimate sleep routine. This isn't about rigid rules, but about creating a predictable rhythm that gently guides your body towards deep, restorative sleep, minimizing those vulnerable moments. Consistency is king or queen. This is the single most powerful tool in your sleep arsenal. Go to bed and wake up at roughly the same time every single day, even on weekends. This regular schedule powerfully reinforces your circadian rhythm, telling your body when to be awake and when to be asleep. Neuroscientists confirm that this predictability is what your internal clock craves, especially as we age and our rhythms can become less robust. Optimize your sleep environment. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary for sleep. Darkness. Make it as dark as possible. Even small amounts of light can disrupt melatonin production. Consider blackout curtains or an eye mask. Quiet. Minimize noise. Earplugs or a white noise machine can be incredibly effective. Cool temperature. This is crucial, especially given our discussion about body temperature. Most sleep experts recommend a room temperature between 60–67 degrees, 15 to 19 degrees C. A slightly cooler environment helps your body achieve and maintain that optimal sleep temperature. Comfort. Invest in a comfortable mattress and pillows that support your neck and spine. This isn't a luxury. It's an investment in your physical well-being and sleep quality. The wind-down hour. This is your transition zone, signaling to your brain that it's time to shift gears from active day to restful night. Dim the lights. About an hour before bed, start dimming the lights in your home. This helps your body naturally increase melatonin production. Avoid screens. Put away phones, tablets, and computers at least 60–90 minutes before bed. The blue light emitted by these devices suppresses melatonin and stimulates your brain. Relaxing activities. Engage in calming activities like reading a physical book, listening to soothing music, taking a warm bath, which helps lower core body temperature afterward, or gentle stretching. Mindful nutrition and hydration. Avoid heavy meals. Try to finish large meals at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. Digestion can interfere with sleep. Limit caffeine and alcohol. Cut off caffeine intake by early afternoon. While alcohol might make you feel drowsy initially, it disrupts sleep architecture later in the night, leading to fragmented sleep. Strategic hydration. Stay well hydrated throughout the day, but taper off liquids in the couple of hours before bed to minimize nighttime bathroom trips. However, remember that subtle dehydration can also impact sleep quality, so balance is key. This robust routine is your first line of defense against sleepless nights. It's about sending clear, consistent signals to your body, telling it that it's safe to power down and enter a state of deep rest. But even with the best foundation, life happens. There will be nights when, despite your best efforts, you still find yourself wide awake, staring at the ceiling. When that happens, you need a precise, immediate strategy to gently guide yourself back to sleep without triggering that cortisol alarm. This is your wake-up protocol, and we'll dive into those powerful in-the-moment techniques next. We've built the foundation, the ultimate sleep routine designed to minimize those unwelcome 3 a.m. awakenings. But as I said, life happens. There will be nights when, despite your best efforts, you still find yourself wide awake, staring at the ceiling. When that happens, when your body's natural temperature shift or a stray thought pulls you from slumber, you need a precise, immediate strategy to gently guide yourself back to sleep without triggering that cortisol alarm. This isn't about fighting. It's about a specific, almost meditative sequence of actions, your wake-up protocol, that can calm your nervous system and quiet your mind, often within minutes. The very first step, the most crucial, is to resist the urge to check the clock or grab your phone. Remember that emergency switch of cortisol we discussed? Looking at the clock immediately triggers mental math. How many hours do I have left? Which is a direct pathway to anxiety and cortisol release. Your phone's blue light signals daytime to your brain, and its content stimulates your mind, keeping that arousal system active. Just don't do it. Keep your room as dark as possible. Next, stay in bed unless absolutely necessary. If you need to use the restroom, do so quickly, keeping lights dim, but otherwise resist the urge to get up and wander. Getting out of bed can increase your heart rate and activate your body further, making it harder to return to a sleep-ready state. Your bed should remain a sanctuary for sleep, not a place for problem-solving or pacing. Now, let's engage your body's natural calming mechanisms. The first technique is 4-7-8 breathing. This simple yet profound method, widely recommended by sleep specialists and neurologists, is designed to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest system, and dial down that fight or flight response. Place your tongue against the ridge behind your upper front teeth. Exhale completely through your mouth with a whoosh sound. Inhale quietly through your nose to a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 7. Exhale completely through your mouth with a whoosh sound for a count of 8. Repeat this cycle for 7 to 10 breaths. You'll notice your heart rate slowing, a sense of calm washing over you. This deep breathing stimulates the vagus nerve, sending calming signals to your heart and brain, reducing stress hormones like cortisol. Once your breathing is calm, we move to progressive muscle relaxation, PMR. Even when you think you're relaxed, your muscles might still be holding subtle tension. PMR helps you identify and release this hidden tension. Starting with your feet, curl your toes tightly and tense your foot muscles for about 5 seconds. Then completely release the tension, focusing on the contrast for about 10 seconds. Slowly move up your body, tensing and relaxing each major muscle group: calves, thighs, glutes, abdomen, hands, arms, shoulders, neck, and finally, your face. Breathe slowly and evenly throughout. This physical release sends a powerful signal to your brain that you are safe and can rest. Studies have shown PMR to be highly effective in reducing anxiety and improving sleep quality, particularly for those over 50. Finally, to quiet that racing mind, we use cognitive shuffling. This isn't about trying to stop thinking, but about giving your mind a gentle, non-stimulating task. Choose a neutral, simple word, like blanket or garden. Take the first letter, E, G, B, from blanket. Think of 3 to 5 words that start with B, E, G, balloon, bridge, butterfly. Briefly visualize each without analyzing. Move to the next letter of your original word, L, from blanket, and repeat. If you're still awake, pick another neutral word. The goal is to keep your mind gently occupied with harmless imagery until sleep naturally takes over. If, after 20-30 minutes of applying these techniques, sleep still hasn't arrived, don't get frustrated. This is a critical moment. Instead, embrace the concept of non-sleep deep rest, NSDR. This is where you remain in bed, in a dark, quiet environment, continuing to practice gentle breathing or simply resting without moving. While not actual sleep, NSDR can be incredibly restorative, reducing anxiety and providing a sense of calm. As current research suggests, even periods of quiet rest can offer significant physiological benefits, reducing the pressure to perform sleep. We've now armed you with a powerful wake-up protocol for those inevitable nights when sleep seems to abandon you. But as I hinted, the true mastery of sleep often lies in the subtle, often overlooked lifestyle adjustments that fortify your sleep foundation, making your body more resilient to those middle-of-the-night disruptions. This isn't about grand gestures, it's about understanding the deeper, often subtle influences on your sleep architecture and how small, intentional changes in your daily habits can lead to profoundly better nights. The silent saboteur on your nightstand: medication. Many of the medications we take to manage our health during the day are precisely what can hijack our sleep at night. As we age, it's common to be on various prescriptions for conditions like blood pressure, allergies, or even pain. What many people don't realize is that some of these medications can significantly impact your sleep. For instance, certain decongestants can be stimulating, some blood pressure medications can interfere with melatonin, and even over-the-counter pain relievers containing caffeine can disrupt your sleep cycle. It's not about stopping your medications, but about being informed. Always discuss your sleep concerns with your doctor or pharmacist. They might be able to adjust dosages, suggest alternative medications, or recommend timing changes that minimize sleep interference. According to sleep specialists, this conversation is crucial, as medication-induced insomnia is far more common than many realize, especially in the 50-plus demographic. Beyond the basics, nutrition and supplements, beyond avoiding caffeine and alcohol close to bedtime, which we covered in your routine, certain nutrients play a vital role in sleep regulation. Magnesium, for example, is involved in hundreds of bodily processes, including nerve and muscle function, and can help calm the nervous system. Many endocrinologists and nutrition experts suggest that a significant portion of the population, particularly older adults, may be magnesium deficient. Foods rich in magnesium include leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and whole grains. Tryptophan, an amino acid found in foods like turkey, chicken, eggs, and cheese, is a precursor to serotonin and melatonin, both crucial for sleep. While supplements can be tempting, always consult your healthcare provider before adding them to your regimen, as interactions with existing medications or underlying conditions are possible. The goal is to support your body's natural sleep-promoting mechanisms, not to override them. Disarming the daytime stressors, stress management. Remember that emergency switch of cortisol we discussed back in Block 02. It doesn't just get flipped at 3 a.m. It's often charged during your stressful morning commute, that difficult conversation at work, or even that worrying news you read in the afternoon. Learning to effectively manage stress during your waking hours can significantly reduce the cumulative cortisol load your body carries into the night. Simple practices like short meditation breaks, spending time in nature, engaging in hobbies, or even just taking a few deep breaths during moments of tension can make a profound difference. As current research on neuroplasticity suggests, consistently engaging in these calming practices can literally rewire your brain, making it less reactive to stresses and more adept at transitioning into a state of rest. I know it seems like a lot to adjust, but your body doesn't demand perfection. It simply asks for clear direction. Harnessing the sun, natural light exposure. Your circadian rhythm, that internal clock we discussed, is profoundly influenced by light. Getting adequate exposure to bright natural light, especially in the morning, helps to set your clock, signaling to your body that it's daytime and reinforcing a robust sleep-wake cycle. For those of us who might spend more time indoors, making a conscious effort to step outside for 15-30 minutes each morning, or even sitting by a bright window, can have a surprisingly powerful effect. This simple act, often overlooked, is a powerful tool for regulating your internal clock, which can become less precise as we age. Conversely, minimizing bright light exposure in the evenings, particularly blue light from screens, is equally important. This isn't just about avoiding stimulation, it's about respecting your body's ancient biological programming. The power nap, strategic napping. Naps can be a double-edged sword. A short, well-timed nap, around 20-30 minutes, in the early afternoon can be incredibly restorative, boosting alertness and performance without interfering with nighttime sleep. However, longer naps or naps taken too late in the day can steal sleep pressure from your night, making it harder to fall asleep or stay asleep later. For older adults who may experience more fragmented nighttime sleep, a strategic power nap can be a valuable tool, but it requires careful timing and duration. It's about finding that sweet spot that supports, rather than sabotages, your nighttime rest. We've journeyed together through the intricate landscape of sleep, from the subtle chemical hijackings of cortisol to the natural rhythms of your body temperature. We've built a robust sleep routine, armed you with an immediate wake-up protocol, and explored the hidden saboteurs and powerful allies in your daily life. Now it's time to weave all these threads into a single, cohesive philosophy that neurologists and sleep experts call sleep resilience. Sleep resilience isn't about achieving perfect sleep every single night. That's an unrealistic and often counterproductive goal. Instead, it's about building an internal system that can absorb the shocks of life, the stress, the travel, the occasional late night, and still bounce back to restorative rest. It's the secret to ensuring that even when life throws its inevitable chaos your way, your sleep remains unshakable. It's the ultimate key to transforming your relationship with rest, not just for tonight, but for every night to come. This resilience comes from understanding that sleep is not a passive state, but an active process influenced by your entire being. It's about respecting your body's ancient wisdom, listening to its signals and providing it with the consistent, gentle cues it needs to thrive. It's about recognizing that you are not broken simply because you wake up at 3 a.m. You are human, and with the right knowledge and tools, you are capable of guiding yourself back to peace. This is active hope, the understanding that you have the power to influence your own well-being. For many of us over 50, Cultivating this resilience is not just about feeling better. It's about preserving our cognitive function, maintaining our energy, and safeguarding our overall health as we move through life's later chapters. It's an investment in your vitality, your clarity, and your joy. Now, I want to be clear. While these strategies are incredibly powerful and evidence-based, there are times when sleeplessness transcends simple lifestyle adjustments. If you find that despite consistently applying these techniques, your insomnia persists, impacting your daily life, please know that you are not alone and there is further help available. Cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, or CBT-I, is widely considered the gold standard treatment for chronic insomnia by sleep specialists. It's a structured program that helps you identify and replace thoughts and behaviors that cause or worsen sleep problems with habits that promote sound sleep. If you suspect your sleep challenges are chronic, I urge you to speak with your doctor about CBT-I. It can be a life-changing intervention. You've invested your time here today, and that tells me you're serious about reclaiming your nights. This journey to better sleep is a marathon, not a sprint. But every step you take, every conscious choice you make, builds towards a more rested, more vibrant you. If this conversation resonated with you, if you found even one insight that sparked a new understanding, I have a small request. Please, take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Your subscription is a quiet affirmation that this work matters, that these conversations are valuable. And if you know 5 people, friends, family, colleagues, who are also battling the 3 a.m. wake-up call, please share this video with them. You might just be the catalyst for their own transformation. Finally, I invite you to leave a sincere comment below. Tell me, what was your biggest takeaway from this conversation? What's one change you're committed to making tonight? And remember, your health doesn't stop at sleep. It continues in what you eat when you wake up, how your body processes energy after 50, and the vitality you bring to each day. Let me know what you want to see us explore next. Thank you for being here, for trusting me with your time, and for committing to yourself. May your nights be filled with deep restorative rest and your days with renewed energy and clarity. Sleep well.